Hey y'all, Keith the Human, Park City, Kentucky. It is Saturday. Uh 17 days of the election. Something like that. I never know. Days just seem to blend in together right now. Yeah, I just want to make a video this morning about this misconception of Donald Trump being the people's champion. A guy who has never held a fucking real job in his life, most likely. Just the last couple of weeks, he's come out and said he hated paying overtime, that he would get rid of people before he'd pay overtime. And if you look at his history in New York and other places of him stiffing contractors, it's well documented how many times he's been sued by people who did work for him because he did not pay them. People just like you and me that go out and work for a living. And then the other day, he said that the auto workers, the auto workers' jobs were easy. The kids could do it. They just pull parts out of a box and slap them together. They're made in Germany. He made that reference. These parts made in Germany, and they bring them over here, which that's not fucking true. Most of the parts for all the big manufacturers now are made in China. But he wants to throw that German reference in there because he's a fucking Nazi. And, I mean, you can go back when he was president and look where he, there's an interview he was doing somewhere, and there were several interviews, actually. There was one that stuck out where he just said that wages were too high in this country. We got to bring the wages down. Got to bring the wages down. That's what this fool said. A man who's never had to work in his life. Openly bragged about never getting dirt under his fingernails. But he's the people's champion. I bet he's never worked on a car. Hell, he might not even ever driven a car. He might not even have a driver's license. He's been chauffeured around his whole life. You know, the self-made man that was given $400 million by his dad, who that he took and squandered over and over. Over and over. He wasn't successful at shit until The Apprentice. The Apprentice. That's the only thing he's ever done where he's made money off of it. And he filed bankruptcy twice during that. Filed bankruptcy 4 times before that. Got 3 casinos shut down. I was reading an article the other day where his dad and his friends would come into his casinos and just buy all kinds of chips and then just go throw them away so they could put money back in his casino because it was failing so bad. And he still couldn't do it. But because he was such a big mouth, blowhard, know-it-all cocksucker who was blusterous and he was over the top, WWE bullshit, you know, some guy got the idea, let's make a show around him and make him into a famous rich person that's successful. So he basically played a fake billionaire on television. And people ate it up. People ate it up. Loved it when he fired people. I watched a little bit of that show one time on a break when I was working in a factory. And I thought, man, are people really watching this shit? And that was it for me. Because I've always known Donald Trump's a piece of shit. I mean, most people that grew up with my age should know what a piece of shit he is. He was always in the tabloids, this and that. He always wanted to keep his name out there. Because honestly, that's the only thing he's ever been successful at. Was just branding shit. He don't build nothing no more. He just go slaps his fucking name on it. It's like one of that wall down there. He can slap his fucking name on it. He only ran for president so he could boost himself, maybe get another TV show. People hate that shit up. And like I said, I've said over and over, I get it. I get voted for that motherfucker the first time. But after 4 years of that shit, and especially after J6, come on now. What the fuck? So this guy he's anti-workers you can get. I mean, it's not hard to look at his stances on that shit. And then he wants to run all the immigrants out. You think your shit's high right now? You think your grocery prices and shit's high right now? Run all the immigrants out of the country. Round them up and lock them up. See what the fuck happens. See how much you're going to pay for fruit. See how many of your buildings you're going to get built. Your drywallers, your painters, all the ones that do all the heavy lifting. 'Cause I got news for you. White Americans don't want to do this shit no more. They don't want to do shit anymore. And this generation growing up, they don't want to go into physical labor. And you know what? I can't blame them. I've done that shit my whole life, and I ain't got nothing to show for it. A broke body, a twisted brain, bad attitude. I can't blame them for not wanting to do that shit. But if you want progress to continue, they call it progress. Capitalism is just out of control right now, but I digress. If you want that shit to continue, you're going to have people to fucking do it. I have a pretty good perspective of what's going on with that because I worked in the construction industry for a while. And I've worked several different jobs where I worked with illegal immigrants. Sometimes I'll be the only white guy in there. My old ass in there working with these Mexicans. And all kinds of Guatemalan, South Americans, everywhere. Central Americans. I've worked with all of them. Most of them have been really, really good people and hard workers. But I was on this particular job a few years ago where we were remodeling 8 apartment buildings. And they each had, 12 units in them. We went through 32 or 34 workers in a year. American citizens that would show up to work, get a paycheck, and you would never see them again. Or show up to work, get in a fight, get drunk, never see them again. Get fired, start a fight with the boss. There was always some kind of bullshit. There was always junkies and shit that would show up for these jobs. And we had a buddy who was working on the job that contacted some people he knew and got some people down here, a demo crew of illegal workers who come in, illegal I say, came in and finished that job. If it hadn't been for them, they would have never ever got that job finished. They just shut it down. And you just go look at what happened in Florida when the Satan down there started all that anti-immigrant shit. How many of them packed up and said, fuck you? And they got a lot of rebuilding to do. And guess what? A lot of them immigrants ain't going to come back down there. So they're kind of fucked. Because people don't understand how things work in this country. They use the immigrants to scare the fuck out of you. If people don't have the knowledge of what actually happens with these immigrants. Hell, a lot of them run our factories. They build our shit. But they won't blame the immigrant. They don't ever want to blame the people that hires them, just the immigrant. But yeah, man, that's the working man's champ right there. Fucking guy ain't never worked a fucking lick in his life. And somehow people have it in their twisted heads that this guy's on their side. Why? Because he dry humped a fucking flag and said he loved America. What the fuck? Y'all gotta wake the fuck up, y'all. Come on. Bird. Hey, Bird. Yeah, Bird's mad over about it. He is mad. He hates Donald Trump, too. But, yeah, I just thought I'd throw it out there. And if I got to start thinking, we could have a fucking 2-hour video about this shit. Because he's said and done a lot of stuff when it comes to labor and working people. And, hey, this is what I ask people to support him. Name me one piece of legislation that Donald Trump passed that helped the working man. One thing that helped the working class. I'd like to see it. If you got it and you're holding on to it, show me. You know what I get? I get that smiley emoji, that laughing emoji every time. And I'll say, hey, man, don't laugh about it. Show me something he's done. Anything. Show me anything that motherfucker's done. And, of course, they never can. You know, it's usually they scream Trump 2024. That's the last time you hear of them. But anyway, guys, I had to get that off my chest, and I'm going to try to make up more videos before the end of the day. Hopefully get out in the woods, and I'm going to get out there tomorrow. But anyway, guys, I love y'all. Keep fighting a good fight, and I'll see you later. Peace.